Okay, let's move on to step 2, identifying the separate performance obligations in the contract. What should our audience know about that?
So when I originally read this standard and started thinking about it, I thought that step 3 with the variable consideration was going to be the most difficult for companies to implement and to determine on an ongoing basis. But I think we've seen most of our clients in practice struggling with step 2 even more than step 3. And determining what exactly is separate is difficult. It hinges on this definition of distinct that we were just talking about with the contract modifications. And the definition, the way they've laid it out, is that it's either a distinct good or service, being that the customer can use it on its own or together with other services, goods or services readily available to the customer. And it has to be distinct within the context of the contract. And that part's new and a little bit difficult to think about. And that distinct within the context of the contract has to do with how integrated and reliant the other goods and services are within each other.
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, one example would be, I think it's even an example in the standard, where the good or service is to build a hospital. And there are many pieces of a hospital. There's doors and windows and maybe site clearance and plumbing and all the things that go into building a hospital. Whereas they probably meet the first part of that definition of distinct. They could be used on their own or together with other goods and services readily available. That's not what the customer wants. And this is a customer-centric standard. So the customer wants a hospital, a completed hospital. And so distinct within the context of the contract would indicate that this would be one performance obligation as opposed to many performance obligations.